So energy poverty, these are two words, right? To me, life in itself without energy is poverty. Why? Because imagine trying to do what we do on a daily basis without energy. We would not be able to work, we would not be able to educate our kids, we would not be able to do anything without energy.
Energy poverty is when you go talk to a grandmother in Swaziland and you realize inside that she's cooking and lighting and staying warm by a fire of some material in the middle of the hut. And you find out from her that the material is cow dung, dried cow dung.
Over 1 billion people do not have any electricity. That's only the tip of the iceberg. About 2.5 billion people only have limited access to electric power. And that's, so you're closing on almost half of the population of the world are living in energy poverty, and that's why I say it is the leading problem facing mankind today. Societies where people have access to energy, they survive childhood, they live longer, they eat better, they drink cleaner water, and they learn to read.
There's roughly 1 billion people who live on the continent of Africa. That's about 3 times the population of the United States. Estimates are about 25%, let's say, have access to electricity in their home. That means at night, if you look at a satellite picture of Africa to the south and Europe to the north, Europe is ablaze. People are out, factories can still run, cars can still drive down the highways, children can do their homework sitting with electric lights in their house. You can be heating and cooking with electricity. In Africa, you will see literally a dark continent at night. Africa's life expectancy is about 55 years per person. The United States is about 76, as are most developed countries. That's 20 years of life lost per person. Why do I say that's linked to electricity? Because electricity is what you use to clean water, to make sure you can drink the water without getting sick, without your kids getting diarrhea, dehydrating, and dying. Water is why Africa's infant mortality rate is about 80 kids out of 1,000 born die before their 5th birthday. In the United States, it's well under 10. Clean water is the holy grail of African health and development.
If you look at a map at night of the Korean Peninsula, you see the great demarcation between South Korea and North Korea, where South Korea is powered by fossil fuels for the most part. North Korea is virtually dark. The children in North Korea, they're shorter, they weigh less, they die sooner. These people all come from the same biological stock. My wife and I have 4 biological children, and then we adopted 4 children from overseas. They were adopted from Korea. 2 of those children were adopted from South Korea, and 2 were refugees from North Korea. When we adopted our son from North Korea, he was 6 years old, and he weighed 35 pounds. I carried him across the parking lot at the airport like a baby. After 20 years of being involved in the United States, civilization, power, electricity, he became a United States Marine and won 2 medals for bravery under fire in Iraq. So that's what electricity can do for you. I saw it happen before my eyes.
The experience of seeing an older gentleman who looked like my grandfather, having spent an entire day gathering twigs and branches off of fallen trees to take back to his hut and carry it back on his back, that was a very powerful experience for me. It taught me the reality of what energy poverty really is. And if you fast forward to today and look at what is going on in terms of policies that are being conducted in Washington through the World Bank or other lending institutions that have imposed these draconian restrictions on financing projects that would have delivered electricity to people like that, it is really troublesome because there is no connection between the people that are perpetuating these policies and the ones that are actually suffering as a result of them. fossil fuel is the only answer. Renewables are not going to get it done. The wind doesn't always blow, as we all know, and the sun doesn't always shine, and this is not affordable in many parts of the world. I think we need to connect those dots. We need to let people know that without fossil fuel in many parts of the world, there will continue to be abject poverty driven by a lack of energy.
People talk about we should have off-grid power for these nice little African communities. They don't need to be on a grid that links them to the rest of the nation, just nice little off-grid power. Off-grid is no way to be part of the modern world. You need to be on-grid, and the only way to be on-grid is with coal-fired plants, gas-fired, oil-fired plants. We can help make that energy clean.
Well, if there's any country that should understand the benefits of electricity, it has to be the United States. I mean, the United States went in 100 years from basically a third world country to the most advanced civilization in the world. And what powered that? Electricity. And what powered the electricity? Fossil fuels. Oil, natural gas, and coal. We have the oil, we have the natural gas, and we have the coal. We have the technology, we have the established infrastructure, we have the transportation infrastructure to move these commodities and move them to the rest of the world. By denying these countries opportunities to get access to American energy such as coal or natural gas, we're condemning people to lives of perpetual poverty. We're not only condemning people today, we're condemning their children.